Thank you all so much for tuning into another episode of Mikasa Sukasa, and I am your host, Niko House. And for everyone who already donates to our One Follow $1 campaign, I want to say thank you. And if you do not, make sure that you go ahead and donate. It's at it's in the link in the description below. Just donate $1 to our Patreon account and show that you will support the truth and invest in the truth if the mainstream media will not. I want to go ahead and get started. So for those of you who have been paying attention, you know that the FBI has had a lot of buzz and a lot of drama surrounding it. But as of late, it's mostly been talking about the release of the memo. Definitely have to do another video on that later because some other crazy information just come out. But for this, a lot of people forgot about this. And that is the text messages between the two senior FBI officials. Remember a while ago, maybe a week or so ago, these two officials claimed that they had lost the text messages, but then the forensics and the FBI ended up finding those text messages. Still really weird to me why they decided to use burner phones instead of using encrypted software. Like, you know, they have applications if you want to not have your text messages ever be seen again. Instead, they went through a burner phone, which uses cellular towers, and it's pretty easy to pull your text messages. But that's another discussion for another day. Like I said, you don't have to be intelligent to be part of the intelligence community. So I do want to read this article, however. So newly revealed text messages between the FBI paramours, Peter Strzok and Lisa Page, those are the lovers, the Mr. and the Mistress, the Mr. and the Mistresses. Mr. and the Mistress? Did I say that right? I think it's right. Let's continue. Include an exchange about preparing talking points for the then FBI Director James Comey to give to President Obama, who wanted to know, quote unquote, everything that we're doing. The text messages from Page to Strzok was among thousands of texts between the lovers reviewed by Fox News. The pair both worked at one point for special counsel Robert Mueller's probe of alleged collusion between the Trump campaign and Russia. Page wrote to Strzok on September the 2nd, 2016 about prepping Comey because POTUS wants to know everything we're doing. That's quote unquote. According to a newly released Senate report, this text raises questions about Obama's personal involvement in the email investigation. Indeed, it does. Now, a president can want to be involved in something like that for a plethora of reasons, right? But maybe in the beginning, right? Maybe if the indictment hadn't already been thrown out, you know, he recommended not to press charges, not to indict Hillary Clinton. So maybe if that didn't happen, I'd be a little less suspicious about this. But this is September 2nd, 2016. James Comey had already exonerated Hillary Clinton. So essentially, it looks like they were actively trying to keep things from going further. But I would think that it's even more, what's more damning about this is, remember how people say that Trump is trying to obstruct justice by firing people who clearly have a conflict of interest? I said, I'm one of the first ones to admit Trump can be a brash person. But if I see people who are supposed to be in charge of doing an an objective investigation who have clear conflict of interest, I want nothing to do with them on my administration. And I think that at that point, Trump was fair in firing James Comey, especially look at what we're finding out. Everything that's been coming out since Comey's been fired has been grounds for not only firing, but he should be losing his pension. He shouldn't even be getting paid anymore with all the corruption that he's taken part in. But this is essentially saying that Obama, once again, the Democrats, once again, have been doing what they accused the Republican administration or anyone who disagrees with them of doing. Once again, like I said before, Trump was constantly accused of obstructing justice for even wanting to know what's going on in his own investigation. He's been attacked for it. However, with Obama, apparently he did the same thing. But it was a little bit more serious. Because we already know that the Clinton email investigation and the Clinton email scandal did not turn out how it should have. We're seeing they were preparing James Comey for talking points because the POTUS wants to know everything we're doing. Regarding what? What else should be done at that point? Now, I think that it's just a little peculiar, the double standard that we're seeing, in that if the roles were reversed, let's be frank, the roles are reversed in a sense right now, except for one's a made-up story and the other one's not. But if the roles were reversed and Trump was demanding what was going on, like to know what was going on, for example, in not Jeff Sessions, because he doesn't really like Sessions that much, but like anybody, his Secretary of State, his Secretary of Defense, if he was demanding to know what was going on in their investigations after, and then campaign for them, mind you, because this is September 2016, so he was campaigning for her actively. So like Trump would be thrown through the ringer for doing something like that. I think we can all agree on that. However, with Obama, it seems like we're giving him a pass. It seems, well, not everybody, but the majority of progressives, or neoliberals, I should say, they're giving him a pass. For what? We should be holding him to a higher standard. He has experience. He knew what was going on. He didn't come in, he knew what was going on with the Clinton email scandal, and that's why he was interfering. Because he would be, at the very minimum, seen as incompetent. At the very worst, seemed like he was purposely colluding to obstruct justice for fear that he was actively involved in it. I would love to know what you think about this. This is the news just keeps coming out. I can't wait till more of these text messages get released. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, always remember, find your balance. Peace.